I really enjoyed the informative speech narrated PowerPoint because we got to choose our own topics. I chose the topic Alzheimer's disease because as of right now it continues to grow rapidly but does not have a cure. Throughout my PowerPoint, I used very good technology and I think it was quite adequate because my slides and voice timed up correctly. If I had to give 2 points to using PowerPoint, my first helpful tip would be to make sure that your background has a design or some type of color so it's not just a plain white screen. This will help keep the audience interested in your speech. My second helpful point would be to use different tones throughout your speech because you don't want to use the same monotone voice so your audience gets bored. Since this speech they can only hear your voice, it is important to use different levels so they keep interested in what you are saying. Throughout my presentation, I used many examples of ethos because it is important with this informative speech. I used the USD website and went to their databases to find 3 scholarly sources. I used these scholarly sources to show my audiences that the speech I was giving had credible sources and they could trust the facts I was giving. The most comfortable part of this speech would have to be my introduction. I really enjoy creating introductions because you get to have fun with it and start off with either a startling statement or an interesting quote. I believe the introduction is where your presentation either draws in the audience or doesn't. It's important that you clinch the audience right away so they hear every word you say. My least comfortable would probably have to be the conclusion because I feel that you not only have to wrap it up with your words, but your tone of voice should also be wrapping up your conclusion too. The use of improvement in my speech would probably just be speaking overall. I believe that the more practice I get, the more comfortable I will become with speaking in front of people. I think this class will help a lot because we have many speeches, and the more practice I have, the better I'll become. The most memorable experience I read on Chapter 1, page 19. I found many things about the responsibility of the speaker that I didn't know. For example, I didn't realize the speaker had ethical requirements of a speech that are not only for the audience. I didn't realize or think about that your speech goes beyond the audience. People could record your speech, put it on YouTube, send it through a text message or an email, and it could get all over the world. So I realized that I needed to make sure my words and facts come from direct scholarly sources or trustworthy sites so that my audience would believe me and people all over the world would know that my facts are true. I also realized through this Chapter 1, page 19, that I need to say things with respect to others, not knowing who is going to hear my speech. Overall, this speech taught me a lot more about Alzheimer's disease, how to use PowerPoint, and just ethos in general.